Hi, I'm Marion Landry. I'm the Technical Marketing Specialist for Expression. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to create skins for rendering Expression's content playlists. Content playlists are a powerful tool in Expression that make content management easy, flexible, and a breeze for marketers and developers to work together. Playlist skins, which is what we'll learn to create today, can be easily selected and customized by content creators using the playlist settings menu, which we'll also touch on this video. The playlist skin which we'll be creating is a carousel type display that looks like this. It will include options to change the position of the text overlay, the color, and alignment of the text within it. I invite you to follow along with this tutorial by trying Expression for free with any of our website starter kits that are already set up with a selection of playlists that you can try. You can also copy and paste the markup snippets used in this tutorial from our Getting Started section. To get started, navigate to the Bundle tab from the main Develop menu. Then, browse the list of bundles and double-click on the Skins bundle to edit it. Just as a note here, skins can be built in any bundle and named whatever makes sense to you. Let's create a new element and title it Full Background Image and click Accept. In the interest of speed, I will copy the first HTML snippets from this tutorial that you can find on our Getting Started page under the Development section and paste it in our newly created element. This markup renders the data from the playlist to the front end, but you can choose to use your own markup. Now, if you want to change the display of the markup rendered on the front end, we need to be able to toggle some of the CSS properties dynamically in order to avoid duplication of markup. To do this, we are going to use custom fields to set up some options that we can render as selections or inputs in the gear dropdown. To see how this works, simply paste the CSS snippet for this skin into the Bundle CSS tab so that we have it available to render this markup, but any CSS can be used. Next, let's navigate to the Settings menu where we need to create a set of custom fields that will render as editable option in the Playlist setting menu. Changing these settings will allow content creators to easily make changes to how the skins render their content. These settings can be anything you want, but for this exercise, we will keep it simple with options to change the overlay position as well as text color and alignment of this skin. The first custom field will allow changes for the overlay position. We'll set the class to Playlist and choose List under the type and add basic values for left, right, and center. Note that custom fields are used all over Expression, so choosing type Playlist binds them to this specific use case and helps keep everything organized. You can watch this video if you want to learn more about custom fields and content type definition. Next, let's create an align text custom field again, setting the class to Playlist and type to List. This will allow users to align the text inside the overlay window to left, right, or center. By doing so, we can tell the skin what CSS class name to use to affect the rendering we want on the front end. And lastly, let's create a custom field for options to change the text color. I could choose to make this custom field a text type and add a specific color with X or RGB information as well. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we will keep it simple and keep the options to black, white, and gray text. The label name here can be whatever you want, but it is important to match the value to that of the CSS for this example to work. Next, we need to create a new content type definition for our new skin. Content type definitions are used to bind specific custom fields to the cog menu. It is a good practice to name the content type definition the same name as the skin so it's easier to find and bind it from the bundle config drop-down list. Again here, we specify the content class to be Playlist and add the newly created custom field to it, which are align text, overlay position, and text color. It is important to note that once you have a few generic custom fields, they can be used on multiple skin configurations, so no need to duplicate once you have a basic set started. Now we need to bind the skin to the correct setting pane. To do that, navigate back to the Skins bundle and open the Full Image Background Element Markup skin. In the right pane under the Custom Field Definition drop-down list, select the new sets that we have just created. You might need to refresh the browser in order to view the refreshed data. Also, it's important to check the Available as Module checkbox in order to make it display in the Playlist Render drop-down menu. That's it. Before we finish up, navigate back to the top tab of the Skins bundle pane. Notice that both the tabs we worked on are bold and italic. This is because so far we have saved changes, but we have not yet committed these changes. So let's do that now that we are done with the markup. Press the Commit Changes button on the right pane and write a message that will help you remember what these changes were for future reference. Now let's alter the About Us page of our site to our new skin design. Navigate to the Content tab, About Us section in the backend. Currently, the About Us page is using the skin text left image right. You can easily recognize it from the thumbnail drop-down list. Let's change it to our playlist skin title Skin Full Background Image. Notice that our playlist doesn't have a preview image yet. We'll get back to adding a preview in a minute. You will need to refresh the front end in order to see the skin changes, and the bundle doesn't seem to render. That is because we currently have the front end set up to master branch. It's always a good practice to keep the front end branch to developer mode to ensure all changes are visible, and once development is completed, push all changes to master branch all at once. If we refresh the browser, we should now be able to see the changes. And here's our new playlist skin. Let's open the playlist setting by clicking on the gear icon and change some of the available options. You can choose from the drop-down list as per our custom fields. Refresh the browser to see the changes. Now, if you were to create additional articles for this playlist, they will render as additional items, which is how we set up our playlist skin with the HTML and JS we included in our element markup. This markup renders a carousel with articles that scroll to the right. So let's create a second article. We'll populate the content of this article with description text and an image from the Media Explorer. Keep in mind that the image you choose should respect the full screen aspect ratio and be high enough resolution. Save and publish this article and make sure that the status is set to Publish, represented by the green dot. You will need to refresh the browser in order to see the changes on the front end. Lastly, now that we have our playlist rendered, let's capture a screen grab of what it looks like and use it as a thumbnail image for our playlist. You will need to use an image editing software to reduce the thumbnail image to a maximum of 800 pixel wide. Once that is done, upload the image to the Media Explorer. Then, navigate back to the bundle skins and open the full background image element. On the right pane, locate the playlist preview image window and click on the vertical ellipsis to access the Media Explorer. Locate your compressed image and choose the option to insert the file from the right pane. Don't forget to commit your changes before you go back to the playlist skin selection drop-down menu. Adding a preview image to your playlist will provide strong visual context, making it easier for content creators to choose the right skin quickly and easily. Content playlists offer a powerful workflow for both developers and content creators to communicate and iterate on content, behavior, and display. Best of all, since skins are built using Expression's bundle workflow, they're totally portable and available to any other project built in the Expression ecosystem.